Hello, everybody. Hey, gusty and wet. They're under a weather warning. Whew. Yeah, we're going to be windy here too. But hello, Christina. Oh, thank goodness you're the first one there. Um, they are funny. I don't have a lot of them, but there are a few kind of funny ones. So I thought it would be kind of nice. Um, Dave, hello. Patty, hi. Oh, okay. Well, if you're not here anymore, Patty, and you come back, hello. Um, Yes, thank you. Alicia, hello. Michigan Daffodil, hi. Oh, no worries. You know what? I totally understand how things have to kind of keep rolling in your household. Keep it going. Ricky, hello. How are you? Oh, all my all my good buddies here on my channel. So thank you guys. You're just such great supporters. I really appreciate that. Absolutely. Um, you weren't doing very well, Ricky? I'm sorry, I haven't been able to keep up on much of a lot of things, but I'm sorry if you were not doing well. Let me see, I don't really want to take Caitlin, hello. Trying to get all my documents here, getting them up. uh, so hope everybody's doing well. Oh, thank you, Alicia. That's so sweet. Really appreciate that. So I was going to continue on with famine foods, and if I need to fill in a little bit, I will. Well, shoot, I forgot something here. Of course. But otherwise, I'll just save it for next week, and we can just chat here tonight. But we'll have a few stories but what has been going on in your lives this past week? Hey, Kiri, hello. Um, what have I been up to? Went to a kind of a church ministry thank you dinner, not Thanksgiving dinner, but a thank you dinner on Thursday night. It was really nice. There were maybe 100 of us there or something, and those of us who are in various ministries and stuff. So it was really fun. We had, oh my gosh, it was so good. We had baked chicken and mashed potatoes and dressing and cooked carrots and coleslaw and rolls and dessert. And so it was almost like a kind of a semi-Thanksgiving dinner, but it wasn't. So, thanks, Matt and Sarah. Hello, Christina. Hi. Oh, you were up there already. We have Christina and Christy and another Christy, I think. So I forget who's on here sometimes. Sorry. Oh, I know Dave, right? Right. I just had one meal today. It was about 3 o'clock. So I may need something else after this. I don't know. But Dawn, hello. Yeah, I just had some leftover kind of spaghetti, um, Italian spaghetti type of stuff. But you saw 2 Christmas parades. Oh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. So, Matt and Sarah, is it both of you and the family or just one of you? I know it's that time of year where things are super crazy, and I am just so appreciative that at least one of you shows up. That's just amazing. It is really. Um, so, okay, Ricky. Well, I'm glad that you're doing better now. I really am. Yep. So we had, so Kiri, you spent over an hour raking up leaves at the senior center. Wow. 5 bags leaves home. Nice. Oh. I know, seriously, Kiri, it's like, oh my goodness, it's like, yeah, the lady's gonna do all the work, and the guy comes in and is like, hey, can I have those? It's like, oh, oh, okay, you're working and watching. Thank you. Here you're good. Just scan it for yourself. Absolutely. Christina, you're catching up on grading high school English assignments, shopping for your mom. Recently moved in. Oh, that's cool. That's very neat. Has anybody started their Christmas decorating or shopping or anything yet? As you guys know, I wait until December to get my tree and decorate and everything. But as far as shopping, I've only gotten maybe a couple little things. I did very um, minimal gifts. I guess not because I don't love people, but first of all, I just have to keep within budget. But the other thing is that I would rather give one very meaningful thing than a bunch of stuff, and a lot of times I make things. So, I don't, what do you guys do? Do you like, especially if you have family and everything, do you exchange names? Do you just limit to one gift per person, per child, or whatever? I don't know. Some answer. Your tree is up. Okay, awesome. Dave, that's right. You said you had your eye on one in your backyard. That's so nice. That is great. Um, yep. So I am not one to hit the stores right away, 3 a.m. on Black Friday. I don't. If I will look, because I'm generally down at my parents', which is much closer to a lot of shopping areas. Uh, so I'll generally, kind of look through the newspaper ads and stuff like that, get the flyers out and see if there's anything that catches my eye if I'm in need of something. And if so, I wait until the afternoon if I do go anywhere. And then it's pretty much, the craziness is done. So, and I can generally still get a good deal, but there are many, many Black Fridays that I don't go out at all. So, chainsaw fun. Woohoo! Yeah. Oh, Caitlin, very nice. Very, very good. You bought Michigan Daffodil, you bought 4 gifts, 2 each for, okay. Oh, cool, Alicia. That's very nice. Yeah, we definitely have to wait till after Thanksgiving for a lot of stuff, but um, mm, yeah, keep fall with fall. And we've had a nice long fall this year, which has been very wonderful. Very, very wonderful. Um, what's I going to say? Somebody remind me of something here, but oh, yeah, Thanksgiving coming up. So I generally do pies for my family, but our gathering is going to be pretty small this year. There's just, it's not going to be the 30 or 40 people that we normally have. So we're going to be down to probably about 15, 12 or 15, something like that. And I'll be helping to take care of my dad, so I won't be over at my brother's for where we usually gather, unless I get relieved and I can go over for a half hour or something. But otherwise, we're going to have dessert at my dad's, which would be kind of nice. And but he's just not able to go anywhere, and so it is what it is at this point in time. And we'll have plenty of Thanksgivings in the future to have together. So. Kira, your friend Linda, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I have a funeral actually tomorrow morning up north that I have to go to. It's a couple hours away. It's a mother of a friend of mine, and so I'm gonna be getting up early. I have to leave by 6:30 and drive. The wake is tonight, but I did not want to be driving 4 hours in dark. And it's like not when there's so many deer out and about. And it's like, for me, that would just be a recipe for disaster. And so I'll leave tomorrow morning and it'll only be dark for like the first half hour or something. And then I can get up and be there for the funeral. And but that's what my morning is. So I debated on whether or not being on here tonight or not, but you guys always make it such a great time, and I'm so glad. You having your mother-in-law, your daughter, and her fella. Her fella. Oh, that's great. That's right, Kiri. You are a Christmas baby. Hey, Dave. How are you doing? The other Dave. Oh, that's good. Well, again, I just wanted to talk about, I put all the links below for the things that we talked about last week in case you didn't get it. I actually did get the book, Famine Foods, Plants We Eat to Survive, but I left it in the kitchen. So obviously that wasn't supposed to be on the agenda tonight. So I'll bring it up next week and we'll continue on with all of that. And but anyway, yep. David is a very good name. Absolutely. We have King David, and yes, it's a very good, strong name. All right, so let me see. I haven't practiced my Norse, what do you call it, Norwegian? My Norski accent for a while, so I'll have to get into it. Okay. So I only have, like I said, a few stories here, but we'll intertwine it with a bunch of good conversation here for you guys. And if I need to, I will go back to some oldies that we've done before. But if you have, if you guys find any, just, please send them over and, send me the links and I will look at some. All right, so everybody on here and ready to go? Okay. It's the day before Thanksgiving, and Sven, the butcher, is just locking up when Oli pounds on the door. Please let me in, says Oli. I forgot to buy the turkey, and my wife Lena will kill me if I don't come home with one. Okay, says Sven the butcher. Let me see what's left. He goes into the freezer and discovers that there's only one scrawny turkey left. He brings it out to show Oli. That one's too skinny. What else do you got? Oli asks. Sven takes the bird back into the freezer and waits a few minutes, then brings the same turkey back out to Oli, the same one. Oh no, says Oli. That one doesn't look any better. You better give me both of them. Trying to pull the wool over his eyes. Those two, I tell you what. Thank you, Kiri. Yep, that was a very good, good thing there. So, Ricky, well, thanks so much for coming in. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So whether you have a scrawny turkey or a nice big fat one, it's like you gotta have Thanksgiving Day with whatever you've got. Make a lot of soup, right? So are any of you Scandinavian at all? Oh, that's the word, Scandinavian. That's what they call it. Scandinavian is Norwegian, Swedish, so Norway, Sweden, Finland. Scandinavian. Well, hello, Patty, Southern Blessed Homestead. Hello. You're a Svenska? I could have guessed with your coloring, Dave. So that would have been good. Svenska. I haven't heard that word. That's good. You love Sven and Oli. All right. So Oli was quite an industrious turkey farmer and was always experimenting with breeding to perfect a better turkey. Lena and the kids were fond of the leg portion of the turkey for dinner, and there were never enough legs for everyone. After many frustrating attempts, Ole was relating the results of his efforts to his friends at the general store. Well, I finally did it. I bred a turkey with 6 legs. They all asked Ole how it tasted. I don't know, said Ole. I could never catch the darn thing. Ran 3 times faster because he had triple the legs. For German, Irish, English, Canadian. Dad's side's English, mom, German and English, a bunch of other stuff. Yeah. I'm Irish, Austrian, French, a little bit of French, and Luxembourg. So, so if you want a lot of legs, either just buy an extra pack of legs or, butcher extra turkeys and you've got more meat, right? There you go. There you go. Valley, the Norwegian part of Seattle. Oh, I just wish I was Canadian. Oh, Christina, did you learn a lot of learn about or pick up any of the traditions, all the Norwegian traditions at all there, or did you partake in them? That'd be really cool. Oh, Patty, that's a shame you don't know where you come from. You know what? There are some families that just, it never, they either didn't want to keep, that knowledge in the family because of, persecution in their heritage or, different things like that, or that they wouldn't get a job because of their heritage. That's what it was 150 years ago. And so, or 200 years ago when it first came into the United States. And so there were a lot of people that changed their names or, didn't want to say that they were from Germany or Russia or anything like that. And so, yeah, it's kind of sad that a lot of people lost their heritage that way. My family kept it up. My mom especially, she was very into that. And she, we have a big binder of all kinds of things from, back into the 1700s, from with our family and our heritage and family tree type of things. And she kept that up, did a lot of research and gave things out as gifts to us, with all of that, and made CDs of stories from the families. I mean, she just really did a lot to keep the memories kind of going and the heritage there. So it was really kind of cool. You hatched out a bunch of chicks to replace all the ones you couldn't kill. A friend gave you 2 chicks. Well, at least you had some to replace them, Kiri, so that was good. Yeah. I think you were expecting a few to be roosters, maybe? Because you said they all appear to be hens. So, but that's okay. So what are your Thanksgiving traditions? What do you, I mean, Dave already mentioned that he's going to have, a small family over and everything. We always get together on, our side of the family at my older brother's house and stuff. And we've been doing that for quite a few years. And it's just great. Like I said, we usually have easily 30 people there. And of course, as my nieces and nephews started having their own families and children, it just grew. But we get together and we get there. My brother is usually outside grilling rumaki, which is marinated duck meat wrapped in bacon, and he's out there got it on the grill, and um, oh my gosh, he'll make a bunch of, and you skewer it with a toothpick and everything, and when he brings it in, he's got like this little bowl full, and it's gone within like 2 minutes. Everybody's like, "Oh, there's some maki here," and so you get that many people. It's just like, whew. And I don't know how many ducks he goes through to be able to get all that, but that's a lot of work. Cutting them up into these little pieces of meat, and then um, wrapping them in bacon and out there frying. But he loves doing it. He loves doing it, and it is so good. So I don't know if anybody else has ever had duck ramaki, but it's very, very good. So Patty, on your mom's side, you found out that your grandmother passed away. That after your grandmother passed away, your grandfather was not your mom's biological father. Oh, oh wow. Okay. So yeah, there's things like that do happen that, and I suppose anybody who's adopted too, you don't really know your heritage. That is interesting. That is really interesting. The only thing you picked up were some of the holidays not celebrated in public schools, foods, representation. Okay. Alicia, you have your parents over. Sometimes your brother comes for Thanksgiving dinner. That's right. Yours was last month. Absolutely. Well, Curie, that I know. They don't lay. I know roosters don't lay eggs. I just didn't know if, yeah, you probably wanted roosters in order to keep your flock going. That's the only thing I was thinking of. So, all right. Well, Southern Ohio, Dave. I hope you have a blessed day, and that you and your son, you and Charles, have a great time. And a lot of preparation. Yeah. And so we have the turkey, and it's all potluck, of course, too. So we have somebody brings the turkey, and um, we have dressing and cranberries and rolls and all that good stuff, and salad, and green bean casserole. And my sister always makes either green bean casserole or um, like a cheesy scalloped potatoes, or gratin potatoes or something. So yeah, and then they always want me to bring pies, I guess, because they like what I do. So I always bring pumpkin and apple. I don't know how I'm going to get it done with the funeral tomorrow and for a fairly full Wednesday, but I may be baking pies Thursday morning. But you know what? Hey, we don't eat till the afternoon, right? And dessert is in the evening, so they'll be nice and fresh. Christina, other than Thanksgiving dinner, you decorate your homes for a fall season of warm and bright, cute colors. You have more fires in the fireplace, spiced apple ciders. Ooh, that sounds really good. Really, really good. There's always the game going on and everything. The one thing that's nice at my brother's, their main floor is, dining room, living room, kitchen, and then the bedrooms and stuff. But and the basement is a completed basement and everything. Or I always say completed, furnished. Yeah, it's a finished basement. They have the TV down there, so if there's a game going on or something, the guys can sit down there and watch, and it doesn't really interfere with conversation and different things going on upstairs. So, yes, I think, Patty, I think so. I think you're right. Green bean casserole, absolutely. So, all right. You ready for another story? Okay. Sven and Oli are flying a plane over northern Minnesota. Oli is the pilot, and they are approaching their destination. Sven looks out the window and sees the runway in the distance. He notices the runway looks rather short and says, "Ya know, Ollie, that looks like a really short runway." Ollie replies, "Oh, don't you worry. This is a small plane after all. There's plenty of space for us to land." As they get closer, Sven sees that the runway is indeed very short and he says, "Ollie, I don't know about this. It looks like that runway is too short." Ollie says, "Okay, I'll press the brakes as hard as I can when we come down. How about that?" But Sven isn't reassured very much. At this point, he can see that the runway is almost certainly too short for them to land. He says, "Ollie, this runway is way too short. We're going to crash." Ollie says, "Oh, shut up. I'll just put the plane in reverse as soon as we land. That'll do it." I've flown in a lot of small planes and they don't go backwards. They just keep going forward and around and around. They don't have a reverse. So anyway, so the plane touches down, and despite Ollie's best efforts, they do go off the runway and into the fence. The plane flips over a few times and is heavily damaged, but luckily, both Ollie and Sven are relatively unharmed. The two climb out of the wreckage, and Sven says, "You see, I was right. This runway was way too short." Ollie looks up and down the runway and he says, "It was really short, but look at how wide it is." Oh, I hope you got that. Look at how wide it is. You just like, you wonder if there's anything up there other than air, right? Oh, glad to see the laughing faces. That's good. Yeah, dad joke. There you go. It's like, yep, 90 degrees. Yep. Oh, man, Sarah, I hope it didn't goof up anything that you were trying to work on. Oh, so what did I miss here from anybody else? So, Alicia, your basement is carpeted, crazy moon playing small TV. Okay. Kiri, your mom did all the cooking for Thanksgiving and Christmas. One year, your mom asked her sister to make a pumpkin pie. So, Uncle was the one that insisted on having it. One year, they brought them baked. Oh, that took a while for dessert to come around, didn't it? Oh, Julie, hello. There you go. Yep. You're right, Matt. Look who dropped in. Oh. All right. So we've got 1, 2, 3 stories left. So I have to kind of stretch this out a little bit. Although, let me see if I can go back and find. There are a couple that were my favorites that from that I did like last year or like a year and a half ago. This one, it's not one of my favorites, but it looks like one that I didn't do. So Lars, Sven, and Ollie were asked, when you're in your casket and friends and neighbors are mourning you, what would you like them to say? Lars said, I would like them to say that I was a wonderful husband, a fine spiritual leader, and a good family man. Sven said, I would like them to say I was a wonderful teacher and servant of God who made a huge difference in the lives of people. Oh, always wonderful. Oli said, I would like them to say, look, he's moving. So he's not dead. Okay. Yeah. So, hey, Thrifty VG, hello. You were on your sweatshirt that I can believe. Yes, you probably were. Beautiful soap making movie star. Ah, funny. Oh, Virginia, that's so sweet that you just stopped in and say hi. I really appreciate that. That's so great. You have a wonderful time. Absolutely. So Oli leaves Duluth to get a job as a chauffeur, driving a huge limousine in New York City. The Pope arrives at the airport and Oli picks him up. The Pope wants to do the driving. Oli says that's against company rules, but eventually gives in. The Pope is a terrible driver. He goes up on the sidewalk. He doesn't stop to pay the parking lot toll. It isn't 3 minutes before a policeman pulls him over. The policeman sees right away that he has a problem on hand on how to, or he has a problem on how to hand out the ticket. So he calls his supervisor down at the station and says, I need help in how to give a ticket to someone here who's really important. Is it the mayor? No, more important than that. Is it the senator? No, more important than the senator. Well, then who is it? Policeman says, I'm not sure. I don't recognize him, but he's got the Pope driving for him. Oh, that's all you got to do to be important, is to have somebody really important drive for you, right? You agree with Oli? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. This is this is one of my more favorite ones. I just I laugh every time, and I've read it so many times. Okay. Ole and Lena had Mr. and Mrs. Thorvald over for lutefisk. Lena knew that Mr. Thorvald liked his lutefisk with lots of melted butter and black pepper. After the company had gone home, Lena made a terrible discovery. She had served Mr. Thorvald gunpowder instead of black pepper. Well, it was too late to call or go over, so Lena lay awake all night worrying. Early the next morning, she called the Thorvalds. Oh, Mr. Thorvald, said Lena, I've done a terrible thing. Last night I served you gunpowder instead of black pepper with the lutefisk. Oh, thank goodness, said Mr. Thorvald. That explains it all. Explains what? Asked Lena. Well, when we got home, I bent over to untie my shoe and I shot the cat. I'm sorry. It's just like, oh, okay. Yay, Donna. I got mine today too. Oh, yeah. Yep, yep, yep. Shot the cat. Okay. Let me see if there's another one that I want. This one's got like 50 pages of stuff in there, so I'm gonna. I love all the laughing faces. It's so good. That's so good. Well, I read one to Julie one time that I cannot say on my channel, so it's pretty bad. But I won't go there. Let me see. Outhouse getting blown up? Nope. Okay. So Patty, Southern Bless, what are you guys doing down in the deep south for Thanksgiving? Are the kids coming home, or is it going to be just this? Dave, there's actually, oh, not Dave, Southern Bless. Patty, there's the link is in the description below. It's called Famine Foods. So, yes, laughter is good medicine. Absolutely. I'm looking for one particular one. There's just so many good ones. Let's just read them all over again. It's been a while. Hey, Debbie Carmi, hello. All right, I'll read one from the other one here first. Page 14. Both you girls and your families will be there. Oh, nice. That's so good. That's wonderful. Okay. Sven went in to the lumber store and Oli stayed in the truck. Sven said to the lumberman, I need a 4x2. The lumberman said, do you mean a 2x4? Sven said, let me ask my brother. Sven came back and said, yep, we need a 2x4. The lumberman said, well, how long? Sven said, huh? The lumberman said, how long do you need it? Sven just stood there, not understanding. The lumberman said, go ask your brother. Sven went out to the truck and came back and said, we need it quite the while because we're building a garage. Oh. Anyway, yeah, those who build things and you can understand. Where's the accent? There wasn't that much that they said. Okay. Minnesota's worst air disaster occurred earlier today. It's a joke. Okay, it's a joke. When a Cessna 152, a small two-seater plane, crashed into a Norwegian cemetery there early this morning. Oli and Sven, working as search and rescue workers, have recovered 826 bodies so far and expect that number to climb as digging continues into the night. That's it. Oh, you should find the rim shot sound. That's true. I should have a little drum here with a. Oh, yeah, that is funny. It is a good one. Oh, your pilot's wife, Debbie. Okay. Well, you missed another one about landing a plane, which was pretty good. One fine spring day, Oli decided to take Lena for a drive in his new car. As they were driving through town, a policeman pulled him over and told Oli that he was doing 50 miles an hour in a 30 zone. Oh no, Oli protested. I was only doing 30, officer. No, you were doing 50, replied the cop. Really, officer, I was only doing 30. Ole replied stubbornly. Well, said the cop, I clocked you doing 50. At that point, Lena, sitting in the back seat and trying to be helpful, spoke up. Officer, you really shouldn't argue with Ole when he's been drinking. But Ole can't win, right? Christina, yep. Yep. Digging through the night. Absolutely. Oops. Oh, yeah. The lutefisk thing. Let's just. This one's good too. A Minnesota farmer named Sven had a car accident. He was hit by a truck owned by the Ajax Company. In court, the Ajax Company's hotshot attorney questioned him thus. Didn't you say to the state trooper at the scene of the accident, I'm fine? Sven responded, well, I will tell you what happened there. I just loaded my favorite cow, Bessie, into the... I didn't ask for any details, the lawyer interrupted. Just answer the question. Did you not say at the scene of the accident, I'm fine? Sven said, well, I just got Bessie Bessie into the trailer and I was driving down the road. The lawyer interrupted again. Your Honor, I'm trying to establish the fact that at the scene of the accident, this man told the police on the scene that he was fine. Now, several weeks after the accident, he is trying to sue my client. I believe he is a fraud. Please tell him to simply answer the question. By this time, the judge was fairly interested in Sven's answer and said to the attorney, I'd like to hear what he has to say about his favorite cow, Bessie. Sven said, thank you, and proceeded. Well, as I was saying, I had just loaded Bessie, my favorite cow, into the trailer and was driving her down the road when this huge Ajax truck and trailer came thundering through a stop sign and hit me trailer right in the side. By golly, I was thrown into one ditch and Bessie was thrown into the other ditch. By Yemeni, I was hurt pretty darn bad and didn't want to move. And even worse than that, I could hear old Bessie a moaning and a groaning. I knew she was in terrible pain just by her groans. Shortly after the accident, a policeman on a motorbike turned up. He could hear Bessie a moaning and a groaning too, so he went over to her. After he looked at her and saw her condition, he took out his gun and shot her right between the eyes. Then the policeman came across the road, gun still in hand, looked at me and said, how are you feeling? Now, what would you say? Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Sven. Lefse. Yeah, that I could do. Lefse I could do. Lutefisk, no thanks. Oh, Eliza, you're here. Hello. Sorry I missed you there. So happy Thanksgiving to you. Yep, happy Thanksgiving. I know, the poor guy. So do any of you have to travel and be on the road at all? I have to travel about an hour and a half or so. Yes, Patty, there's some of these are repeats, but some of them are just really good. But I still haven't gotten my other one yet, so I have to find that. Okay. So the last one that I had that was new, then I'll have to go and look for some other older ones. Ole, Lars, and Sven had been going to the Sons of Norway Hall meeting as long as there had been a hall. And every month, wouldn't you know it, they didn't win a prize in the monthly draw. That is until the last meeting. Sven was the first one of the three to get his name drawn. He won 2 pounds of spaghetti sauce, 4 boxes of noodles, and 3 pounds of Swedish meatballs. That's going to be quite a dinner. Ole had his name drawn next. He got himself round-trip tickets to Duluth, a night's stay at the Dewdrop Inn, and a pair of tickets to see the Inger Triplets Polka Ensemble. Ole thought he had died and gone to heaven. Oh, Lars was the last one to have his name drawn. He won a toilet brush. At the next monthly meeting, they sat down together to check out how each other had fared for the past month. Sven said, "Ofta, I had that spaghetti for 3 days. It was so good. And Helga didn't have to buy food for them there 3 days." Ole said, "Lena was so happy when I brought home them tickets. The trip up to Duluth was nice. We got to ride the Greyhound. And they got a built-in outhouse on that there bus. And the Inger triplets, if I didn't know better, I would swear they were sisters." Then Ole turned to Lars and asked him how his prize worked out. Lars looks at them both and says, "That there toilet brush is nice, but I think I'll go back to using paper." The simple things in life. The simple things in life. Yeah, exactly. We should definitely. Uh, I know. It's like, okay, what are you going to be using it for? Hmm. Ole was going on a trip to Finland, and after boarding the plane, he sat down in seat 16A. After a few minutes, the passenger assigned to 16A came along and pointed out to Ole that he was in the wrong seat. Ole told the other passenger that he was comfortable where he was, and the other passenger could find another seat. The passenger tried to convince Ole to move by showing him his ticket and seat assignment. Ole refused to move. In frustration, the passenger went to see the stewardess and told her what had happened. The flight attendant spoke to Ole at length, but was unable to convince him to move. She got very vocal with Ole, and after coming to the verge of losing her temper, she gave up and went to see if the captain could help. All right, Virginia, thanks for coming in. The captain came back to Ole, bent down toward Ole's ear, and whispered something. Ole jumped to his feet and ran back to his proper seat. The other passenger and the stewardess were astonished that the captain could get Ole to move so easily. They asked him what he whispered to Ole. The captain said, "I just told him that 16A wasn't going to Finland." Oh, you're so right, Christina. That one was sort of snort-worthy. Absolutely. Oh, all right. Is everybody doing okay there? Um, I don't know about this one. Oh well, I'll go for it. uh, yes, Michigan daffodil. Absolutely do need them daily. It seems Sven went over to Oli's house for a visit and was met at the door by Lena, who said, Oli's in the backyard burying the cat. He died, you know. Oh, so I used to go round the house and visit with him, says Sven. Coming upon Oli, Sven sees there is not one hole, but three holes, freshly dug. I thought Lena said you were burying the cat, but I see three holes. Yeah, says Oli. Them other two weren't deep enough. But you are just in time for the funeral. Whereupon Ole swoops up the cat, which by now is stiff as a board, it being minus 40 degrees, owing to the wind chill in Lake Wobegon, holds it out at arm's length directly over the hole and begins to say, in the name of the Father and of the Son and in the hole he goes. In the hole he goes. Yeah, 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 yeah. In the hole he goes, yes, in the hole he goes. That's all I know, Alicia. That's that sometimes happens at minus 40. Yeah, that's kind of. Oh, okay. Um, Sorry, I'm on page 25 now of 50, trying to find some good ones here. All right, Dave, thanks so much for coming. Appreciate it. Um, Sorry about the dead air, guys. I'm trying to find a good one here. Here's another piloting one. Late one night from the Finland International Airport, Sven and Oli phoned their wives back in the States to inform them of their expected time of arrival back home after their Scandinavian vacation. Sven and Oli then boarded the four-prop airplane headed back to the States. All was going well until a captain announced over the PA system that there had been engine trouble in engine number 4, and as a result, their arrival time in the States would be pushed back 30 minutes. Sven told Oli this shouldn't be too much of a problem with his wife, as she was usually not punctual and would probably be late to get him anyway. Oli agreed, and the flight continued. An hour later, the captain came on the PA system again, announcing that there had now been problems with engine number 1, and as a result, the flight would be 60 minutes late in arrival in the States. This time it was Oli who spoke, telling Sven that now there could be a problem with his wife, as she was not an extremely patient person in these matters. Sven consoled Oli by telling him that he could ride home with him and his wife if Oli's wife didn't wait for the late arrival. At about the same time the two had resolved the issue and drifted off to sleep, the captain got on the PA system a third time. He announced his apologies, but now there had been troubles with engine 3, and as a result, the flight would be 90 minutes late. It was at this time that Oli looked over at Sven and in utter dismay announced, "For crying out loud, if another engine goes out, we'll be up here all night." He's like, "Get your prayers going, Oli. Get your prayers going." Oh, oh, that's okay, Carrie. Thanks for being here, though. Still haven't found my other one that I really like. Oli was hired to paint the yellow stripe down the highway. His first day, he painted 10 miles. The second day, he only painted 5. His boss, thinking that he was getting slower because he had started off too hard on the first day, decided to give him a day off to rest. But when Oli came back to work the next day, he only painted half a mile. So his boss asked, "Excuse me, but why have you been painting less and less each day, even after I gave you a day off?" "Simple," Oli answered. "I've been getting farther away from the paint can." Who's putting on a lot of miles? Going back and forth to the paint can. Oh, goodness. That was slow. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not really finding anything. I can't find that one right now. But anyway, so guys down below, I have a lot of links yet that were from last week, and I'll probably do it again this next week. My garden tip for the tonight is to clean, oil, and sharpen all of your garden tools and get them ready for storing for the winter so that they don't rust and everything. They're ready to go right away in the spring. And then my prep tip is to make a list of all those famine foods that you want to grow and to store. So anyway, those are my 2 little tips. And that'll probably cover next week too, cover last week, this week, whatever. So, oh, you painted your new old shed Saturday. It was really, well, that's good. You know, fresh paint on those structures are always helpful. So, you guys, thanks so much for coming. It was an hour of Oli and Lena, or Oli and Sven and Oli, and so it was kind of fun. Kind of fun to do that for a while. I haven't been on those stories for a while. You all have a blessed Thanksgiving, a good time with your family, safe travels on the road for you and your family members, and just take care. God bless. Always have hope, and we will see you next week. Good night, y'all.